AP World History Unit 1 Deep Dive podcast, where we're going to explore the key events, empires, and figures that shaped the course of history. I'm your host, and today we're diving into one of the most significant and influential periods of Islamic history, the Abbasid Caliphate. From its rise to power to its culture and intellectual achievements, the Abbasid dynasty left an indelible mark on the world. Let's explore how they transformed the Islamic world and beyond. The Abbasid Caliphate was founded in 750 CE following the downfall of the Umayyad Caliphate. The Umayyads, who had ruled the Islamic world since 661, were seen by many as corrupt, and their reign had become increasingly unpopular. The tensions had been brewing, particularly among non-Arab Muslims, those who felt marginalized under the Umayyad rule. The Abbasids, named after the family of Muhammad's uncle, Abbas ibn Ab al-Mutalib, rose as challengers to Umayyads. They had the support of various factions, including the Persians, who were disillusioned by the Arab-centric Umayyad rule. The Abbasids promised a more inclusive, equitable caliphate, and they capitalized on growing discontent. In 750, the Abbasids defeated the Umayyads at the Battle of Zab, and the last Umayyad caliph, Marwan II, was killed. With the fall of the Umayyad dynasty, the Abbasids established themselves as the new rulers of the Islamic world, marking the beginning of a new era. After establishing power, the Abbasids moved the capital of the Islamic world to Baghdad in 762. Baghdad became the heart of the Abbasid Empire, and its transformation into a cultural and intellectual center would later be known as the Golden Age of the Abbasid Caliphate. Under the leadership of caliphs like Al-Mansur, Harun al-Rashid, and Al-Ma'mun, the Abbasids oversaw a period of unprecedented cultural, scientific, and intellectual flourishing. Baghdad became a melting pot of knowledge where scholars, scientists, poets, and philosophers from across the Islamic world and beyond came to exchange ideas. The Abbasids were major patrons of learning. One of their most enduring legacies was the establishment of the House of Wisdom in Baghdad, a center of scholarship that attracted scholars of diverse backgrounds, including Persians, Arabs, Jews, and Christians. Here, scholars translated ancient Greek and Roman texts into Arabic, preserving knowledge that would later be rediscovered during the European Renaissance. The Abbasids encouraged advances in various fields: mathematics, astronomy, advances in various fields of mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. For instance, the famous scholar Al-Khwarizmi, who worked at the House of Wisdom, made groundbreaking contributions to algebra, and his name remains immortalized in the term algorithm. In the field of medicine, scholars like Al-Razi and Ibn Sina made major advancements, writing comprehensive medical texts that were used in both the Islamic world and Europe for centuries. Meanwhile, astronomers charted the stars, and philosophers engaged with Greek thought, leading to the flourishing of Islamic philosophy. Politically, the Abbasids presided over an empire that stretched from North Africa and Spain in the west to Central Asia and India in the east. Although the caliphs were the religious and political leaders, much of their actual administration of the empire was delegated to regional governors who often had considerable autonomy. Culturally, the Abbasid Caliphate brought together diverse peoples and traditions. Arabic became the lingua franca, and Islamic culture flourished. The Abbasids also embraced Persian traditions, which became integrated into the political and cultural life of the caliph, helping to shape what we now think of as classic Islamic civilization. Art and architecture during the Abbasid period were also significant. The Abbasid Caliph sponsored the construction of monumental buildings, including mosques, palaces, and public works that showcased the empire's wealth and sophistication. The Great Mosque of Samarra, for example, remains a testament to the Abbasid architectural innovation. Despite its early success, the Abbasid Caliphate eventually began to decline. Several factors contributed to this, including internal strife, external invasions, and the growing power of regional rulers. By the 9th century, the caliphs had begun losing control over their vast empire. The Seljuk Turks, who had originally been military mercenaries for the Abbasids, gained power in the 11th century and effectively became the rulers of the empire, with the Abbasid caliphs serving as figureheads. Then, in 1258, the Mongols, under the leadership of Huglu Khan, sacked Baghdad. This marked the end of the Abbasid Caliphate as a political entity, as the city was destroyed and many of its scholars were killed. However, the cultural and intellectual achievements of the Abbasid period would have a lasting legacy. Though the political power of the Abbasids faded, the Caliphate continued to have an influence through the remnants of its cultural and intellectual contributions. The Abbasid Caliph's legacy would remain in the Islamic world, where their scholarly achievements continued to shape thought and civilization. The Abbasid Caliphate's legacy continues to resonate with the modern world. The intellectual advancements made during the Golden Age laid the foundation for later developments in science, mathematics, medicine, and philosophy in both the Islamic world and the West. The Abbasids' embrace of Persian, Greek, and Indian learning helped preserve much of the knowledge of the ancient world. Many of these translated works eventually found their way into Europe, influencing the European Renaissance and the scientific revolution. Culturally, the Abbasid period helped shape Islamic art, architecture, and literature. The emphasis on knowledge and learning became central to Islamic culture, and the ideas of Abbasid scholars continued to be studied for centuries. Furthermore, the legacy of the Abbasid Caliphate lives on through the intellectual and cultural institutions they established. The House of Wisdom in Baghdad set the model for later institutions of learning, and their translation efforts laid the groundwork for cross-cultural exchange that continue to this day. In conclusion, the Abbasid Caliphate played a pivotal role in the history of Islam and the development of world civilization. From their founding in 750 CE to the fall of Baghdad in 1258, the Abbasids presided over a golden age of intellectual, cultural, and scientific achievement. Though the political power of the Abbasids eventually waned, a legacy continued to shape the Islamic world and the broader global community. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the exploration of the Abbasid Caliphate, be sure to subscribe and like for more deep dives into the empires and events that shaped our world. Until next time, remember to keep seeking knowledge and understanding.